they have pennies left over after you sign your quarterback. That's the problem that all these teams are having. I can't think of a quarterback that's making max money that won a Super Bowl.
And I think they see that what it is, they end up winning first and then getting a max deal, and then they never return.
Russell Wilson, well, Tom Brady's a little different because he's always taking a pay cut.
Yeah.
All these other dudes, I don't blame them for getting paid, man. Get your money. But
Joe Flacco, remember when the Ravens, after Joe Flacco signed that huge deal, and the Ravens was primed to go back, and they never had opportunity to go. Now you have a situation where, if we're talking about Baltimore for a minute, is that you have Lamar Jackson. That's another quarterback looking for a big payday.
Yeah,
he said he's coming into his 5th-year option. So in his 5th-year option, he's looking to see what's the next step for Lamar Jackson. If you're the Ravens, we playing GM right now. Put your GM hat on. Do you sign Lamar Jackson to a long-term deal, knowing that the style of play that he has, can he get you a Super Bowl ring?
Yes, I sign him right now. I don't know why he hasn't already signed an extension. I don't know if the issue because his mom is his agent. I don't know if that's the problem, or they don't want to talk until his contract is up. I don't know. Some teams like doing that, so I don't know what the problem is. But I would already sign him to a deal.
Well, the rumor that I've heard, don't quote me on this, but the rumor that I've heard is that Lamar Jackson wanted any in the ballpark of Patrick Mahomes' money. That's why he hasn't signed a long-term deal, because he's looking for Patrick Mahomes' money. So do you think he deserves that type of money when, Pat Mahomes got his money? He has already won a Super Bowl, and he's already been to 4 straight AFC championship games.
Bro, you deserve what somebody's willing to pay you.
Okay.
If somebody's willing to pay you that kind of money, then you worth that. Like, to me, Dak Prescott shouldn't be getting $40 million a year, but the Cowboys offered him that, so he's going to take it.
But you know what? Since you brought up that Dak Prescott, I think he kind of deserves it. And the reason why I say I feel like he kind of deserves it is because when he didn't play, look what happened. When he didn't play the season he got injured, that division was won with a losing record. Your Washington Commanders won that division by default almost.
Yeah.
But then he comes back. He comes back the next season and get them guys 12 wins.
Mm-hmm.
So I think from that perspective, he got them a home playoff game. Now,
but you got to think. Look at Dallas's record against winning teams when Prescott's playing. They have a losing record against winning teams.
And that's something that now you have to, once again, you just said it, you have to hit in the draft, not just with your first rounder. You need to hit with them 4th and 5th round picks. You got to get a guy that you didn't think, like a Dalton Schultz, who is a free agent.
Yeah, another
guy that's a free agent. Michael Gallup, who is another free agent. Maybe you need to start looking at exercising those options of bringing one of those guys back, because you really don't. Do you want to franchise Dalton Schultz if you're the Cowboys?
I would. To me, he's probably Dak's favorite target on that roster. Because he's a bigger guy, it seems like Dak always gets him. He's always wide open. They got all those weapons on the outside. So if I was in my franchise tag him, he's more important on that offense than Amari Cooper is.
Yeah, and I can almost agree with you on that. But the problem with signing or franchising, Dalton Schultz, is you got to look at the perspective of the value of the tight end. And, now the tight ends are getting paid more money. So with them getting paid more money, if you franchise Dalton Schultz, you're not signing if you franchise Dalton Schultz, it's a guarantee that you're not signing Michael Gallup back. It's a guarantee that you're not doing that.
Dallas in salary cap hell right now. I think they're $20 million over the cap. So even if they trade Amari Cooper, that's only going to free up so much money, 15 to 20 million. And they still have to have money to sign their own guys that they draft.
Right.
People don't think about that. People think about, they're going to get all these free agents. No, they need to sign their own players they draft also. That's another thing that go towards the salary cap.
Well, my thing is, I got a couple other guys I want to bring up.
Who's that?
Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin coming off
an injury. Remember he tore his ACL.
He did, but he's only 26 years old.
Yes.
He just came off of 98 catch season. And he only played 13 games. He caught 98 passes. I'm sorry.
You think he's a one?
Oh, absolutely. I think he's because I think when he was in Tampa Bay that it was 2 ones. They had 2 ones on that team. Mike
Yeah.
Evans and Godwin were, and then Antonio Brown. Really, you had 3 ones. And when you have a quarterback like Tom Brady, you don't know who the number 1 is anyway.
Then they
So
had so many weapons on that roster.
yeah, and it's disappointing that team is about to be dismantled because I don't see Tampa Bay bringing Godwin back. You know, I can't see them bringing him back or trying to franchise him and paying that $25 million. I think which is the cap for wide receivers.
But
Uh,
then they franchise him last year. They franchise tagged him last year, I
you can
believe.
you can you can franchise tag a wide receiver
Yeah,
or anybody up to 2 seasons,
I think he did. I think they franchise tagged him last year.
and that's what I'm saying. If they didn't
Yeah.
work out a deal, and like I said, but he's 26 years of age, so I don't know. I mean, if he doesn't, I think he get in the free agent market. He's going to be as sought after because we already know that Devonte Adams is going to go back to Green Bay. And I think Godwin is definitely going to get a deal and a major deal because there's so many teams that need receivers from the Cleveland Browns to the New York Jets to the New York Giants. You know, it's a lot of teams that can use him. Detroit Lions could definitely use a Godwin in
I
their
think I think
offense.
I think you can probably count the Giants out of that, man. They gave a wide receiver big money last year, so I don't think they're going to do that 2 years in a row.
But let's be honest. Is Godwin better than Kenny Galladay?
Yes, he is, but Galladay's eating up their cap right now. So I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not a GM. I don't know what these GMs are thinking, but there's no way I would go back-to-back years and give that much money for one position. But you know what they're thinking.
Okay, well, what about the third one I got on my list? Mike Williams, from the Los Angeles Chargers, a big
Now that's
body.
a big-time receiver. I like him from the Chargers. People forget about him because he was hidden by the other receiver they have,
Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen. But I like Mike Williams. I had him on my fantasy team. He helped me out a lot last year.
And you know what? He's only 27 years old. So I'm looking at free agents according to their age,
Yeah,
according to their availability, and
and
what they can do for that particular team.
that's a good way to look at it, man. Because you look at a receiver, like you said, 27 years old, they're in the prime. Like you said, you got about 3 or 4 years from 27 to 30, 31. That's really when you're in your prime. It's really you can really make a lot of hay in the NFL, and I think that's probably the best way to look at it at that position. Now, running back, you want to look at running back early 20s. When they when they're
Really,
when they're 27, most running backs are 27. Most of them, they're kind of on the downhill slide already.
think about it. If you look at the free agency list, normally teams do not pick up running backs in free agency.
No,
So if you look at the top 40, 50 free agents, none of them are running backs. None of them.
yeah,
None of them are running backs. But I got a couple more before we go to the next position at wide receiver. I got number 4. I got Odell Beckham, 29 years of age, coming off a Super Bowl uh, performance, but being injured. And I don't know the significance of his injury. Do you take a chance on Odell Beckham?
depending on the quarterback I have. I mean, I think he's going to resign with the Rams because he feels safe there. He won a championship. He can rehab because he's not going to be able to start at the beginning of the season. He just got hurt a few
Right,
weeks ago in the Super Bowl. So
right.
I think I'm probably going to give him a good deal and just resign with the Rams. That's what I think is going to happen. What do you think?
So if he resigns with the Rams, then what do you do with Robert Woods? And I think that, in my opinion, yeah, he said it's best to resign with the Rams. And I agree. You're right. It's best that he resigns with the Rams. But if I'm the Rams and you got Robert Woods coming back healthy, you already got Cooper Kupp, and you got
Mhm.
Van Jefferson, is 4 going to be a crowd?
No, because Odell probably won't be playing till probably around Thanksgiving, maybe
Yeah.
if he's lucky.
And they're trying to build a back-to-back champ because you don't
Yeah,
give up that much equity
but
in the
we all know
team
the Rams don't care nothing about a salary.
at all.
They don't care about. You see the shirts they had on during their championship parade. They don't give a damn about no draft picks. They don't give a damn about none of that stuff. Let's go win.
I just hope other teams don't adopt that philosophy. But I got my last wide receiver for you. What do you think? Is Allen Robertson, who had a very, very disappointing season in Chicago.
No
But
quarterback.
I get it.
Yeah.
But, when you're a good to great wide receiver, regardless who the quarterback is, you have to make opportunities and get yourself open. He's 29 years old. What is the market for Allen Robinson?
Allen Robinson is. I probably say he's probably he's a really good possession receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I don't look at him as an elite receiver. I look at him like a possession receiver. He would be go good with a good number 1
Okay.
receiver. What do you think?
I like Allen Robinson to be your veteran. Like, if you look at a team like the Baltimore Ravens that can use a
Yeah.
possession receiver,
Okay.
even the Kansas City Chiefs, but Chiefs can't get him because of the fact that they're right around that salary cap. Little, it's gonna be some casualties over there in Kansas City. So if I'm a bet man, I think that he may go in the same division to the Detroit Lions. I can see
There,
the Detroit Lions picking him up.
there are players that will take a pay cut that's a little longer in the tooth to win a championship. So Kansas City might get a chance to get him because he's thinking, if I go there, at least I know I'm gonna be in the playoffs and I might get a chance to win a championship. So they might have a shot at him. You never know.
But sometimes, some people want money though. We're
Yeah,
in a situation where
true.
people want their bread.
Yeah,
They. But
I ain't mad at him.
well, let's look at a couple offensive linemen that I was looking at. So I got about four guys that are going to go off the board probably day one when the free agency period come about. The first one being Orlando Brown, the 26-year-old tackle from Kansas City. Do you think Kansas City resigns him or he goes and tests the market?
I think they're re-signing.
Okay. He's only 26.
Yeah.
26 years old.
But let's go back to the Super Bowl we talked about a few minutes ago about Odell. From the Bengals, every free agent offensive lineman, I'm looking at them.
Yeah. But, and then,
I know you don't like the Bengals, but if you're going to build a team, they need an offensive line, bro.
Well, at this point, we the media, so he said he better to go back to KC. I agree. I agree that he should go back to KC. That's why they, because KC gave up a lot to get him from the Baltimore Ravens, and they need good tackles because of the style that they play. So you're absolutely correct. I do believe he should go back to KC. I got and he, 26 years of age, and him and Mahomes, they both about the same age. So you want to keep as much protection for Mahomes and protect your investment. My next one up is guard from your Washington Commanders, Brandon Sheriff. He's only 30 years of age. I know what you about to say, but where is he going?
Say, bro.
You want him to stay home?
No, I don't.
You don't?
Brandon Sheriff is an elite guard, but he's always hurt. I know you don't really pay attention to him because he's an offensive lineman. He's not the team you follow, bro. This dude is always injured.
So you would rather go ahead and part ways with him at 30 years of age. At guard, you got at least about 5 productive years from him.
Bro, guard is the easiest position on my offensive line to replace.
I like him to go to the Cincinnati Bengals. I think the Cincinnati Bengals need to
the Bengals again.
Listen. I think the Cincinnati Bengals need to roll up to his house with a Brinks truck.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think they need to sign to a 4-year, whatever the max contract is for a guard. I will give it to him. Because if the Bengals want to have any success, they gotta stop the leak up front, and you gotta protect Joe Burrow, and you gotta get some help in the running game for Mixon. So
they got lucky last year. They really did. I'm not taking nothing away from them. They got to the championship game, but to be honest with you, the amount of sacks that they gave up, they're lucky that Joe Burrow didn't fumble the ball a whole bunch of times in some of those games.
Especially the Tennessee game. But I got another one. This is my last old lineman that I got for you. Tyron Armstead, the left tackle. He's 31 years old from New Orleans. What do you see? New Orleans can't. Let's go ahead. New Orleans is out the picture. Because New Orleans has $0 to sign. They couldn't sign me right now, and I'm not requiring a lot. Yeah. New Orleans is out the picture. What do you think, since New Orleans is out the picture, what do you think is the market for Armstead, 31-year-old, probably got about a year or two left? What do you think is going?
Giants.
The Giants?
It seems like the Giants are stuck on keeping Daniel Jones. It seems like it. They're talking about trading Saquon, and they want to roll another year with Jones. So if you're going to roll another year with this guy that has a lot of his fumble issue also, you got to protect him.
You know where I like him going? And I hate to say this, I like him going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers was dismantled on their offensive line.
Yeah.
They lost a lot of guys. They never replaced them. They had 3 rookies starting on their offensive line. I can see them getting a trusty veteran for whatever quarterback, because I don't think it's going to be Mason Rudolph, even though that's the guy right now. Mason Rudolph won't be the starter on opening day.
I will see Dwayne Haskins before Rudolph starts there.
I think they're starter not on their roster right now.
You don't think Haskins got a shot at it?
I don't think neither one of them. I think you put both of them, it's like spitting in the wind. And I don't see either one of those guys being the guy for a Pittsburgh Steelers organization that wants to be successful, a team that feel like they can still win now.
There are rumors they're going to go after Jimmy G.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, Jimmy G, you heard Russell Wilson, you heard Deshaun Watson. A lot of people think Deshaun Watson, that's why they brought in Brian Flores, who has a great relationship. And I just seen an article that said the Miami Dolphin Deshaun Watson door has been shut. And
Yeah,
the reason why it's shut is because of Brian Flores going over to going over to the Pittsburgh Steelers, being a associate. And real quick, kudos to the Pittsburgh Steelers for signing that man. When
I
you
love it.
know, what do you feel about that, real quick? How do you feel about that move, bringing
I
him
think
in?
great, man. He can do what he's really good at, which is defense, and be on a great organization. Not that clown show that's going on now in Miami.
Yeah, right now it's a song and dance right
Taking
now,
to get
man.
the Houston job, I don't think that was going to work out anyway, man.
Okay.
Even though Lovie Smith, I wish him no. He's a Texas boy. I wish him nothing but the best. But that Houston organization is probably that the ownership is probably one of the worst in the league.
Right.
You do like that Brian Flores got another shot in the league because I guess it took the team that started the Rooney Rule to get this man a job.
And they the only team that at the
Team.
time that had a black coach.
That's embarrassing.
That it is, but the league has to do better. I already said that it's a black eye on the league. But
How do they fix that though, man? What's your opinion? How you think they can fix the?
I truly believe that they have to go ahead, and I don't like the Rooney Rule.
I don't either.
Because all you have to do, and I heard a story a few years back when the Philadelphia Eagles was in search of a head coach, when Andy Reid went to the Kansas City Chiefs. So Deuce Staley, everybody remember Deuce Staley, a long-time running back for the Philadelphia Eagles, is the running back coach there. So guess what happened? When they were looking for a coach, Deuce Staley was up for head coach. It was all over ESPN. Deuce Staley is getting a head coach, and he said he never had a chance. He never had a chance for that job. But guess what? They checked the box. Philadelphia Eagles checked the box. That's why my thing is you have to give African Americans an opportunity to fail. Not to be successful, to fail and be able to get another opportunity. Because there's plenty of other coaches that have failed tremendously and still got head coaching jobs.
Yeah.
One that come to mind, I'm old school. Dennis Erickson. Remember he went to the Seattle Seahawks and failed miserably. Failed miserably after being a great college coach at the University of Miami, the Hurricanes. Then he had another opportunity to be a head coach with the 49ers and did even worse than he did in Seattle.
Yep.
But when you have a lot of African American coaches, it's almost like one and done. And then and we talked about this before, a lot of African American coaches go to teams that are cesspools. Only way that a coach can really be successful if they have a great quarterback. And if you see that, like when Herm Edwards went to the Jets, when the last time the Jets had a good quarterback? But
Joe Namath?
Yeah, I wasn't even born. Then you had another situation where they sent Todd Bowles over there. He didn't have a chance. You sent all these coaches that didn't have a chance.
A good coach, bro. He hasn't had another shot at it yet.
That's what I'm saying.
Tampa Bay fixed that defense.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for Tampa Bay's defense, you can say, well, all you want about Tom Brady, but that defense won that Super Bowl, bro.
Oh yeah, they were chasing Mahomes all over that field.
Tom Brady gonna get the credit. I know the quarterback position, all the other stuff. But if it wasn't for that defense, that game would have been what it was.
You're right. But let's go to the other side of the ball when it comes to free agency. So my top free agents on the other side of the ball, because we are in the passing league, correct? We're in the passing league.
Yes, sir.
So guess who's available? J.C. Jackson, the ball hawk from the New England Patriots. He's only 26 years old. He then came off 2 Pro Bowl seasons in a row. Where does J.C. Jackson sign?
Let me think who needs an elite corner, a shutdown corner.
Kansas City.
Yeah, because they don't have a corner. You know what? That's a good spot for him.
Kansas City, definitely.
Oh, man. Their pass rush is pretty decent, but they don't have anybody in that secondary.
But you know what?
They might actually lose to Honey Badger. He's a free agent also.
Oh, we was going to get to him, too.
Yeah.
But you know what?
That's a good spot for him if he leaves. I mean, I don't see New England resigning him. New England spent a lot of money last year in free agency, and I don't see them doing that back-to-back.
Oh, I agree with it. That's a good point. I like him going to the Tennessee Titans. I think with that pass rush, if they got a ball hawk in that secondary with the pass rush, that front, they pretty much have one of the top five front sevens in the NFL.
Yeah.
And I think if they can get a J.C. Jackson that's a ball hawk, I can really see him fitting right in with that. And plus, Mike Vrabel is a former, assistant of the New England Patriots. So I can see him getting him over there.
What bothers me about I'm gonna cut y'all, but
No.
what bothers me about some of these teams, man, they bring these corners in and defensive players, period, and you know what they're good at.
Mm-hmm.
And you make them do something that they're not good at, and all of a sudden, oh man, he was a bust. No, when you got him, he this is what he was good at. So why are you trying to make him do something he's not? And sometimes it makes these players look bad. And
Yeah.
I really hate when the people do that. Like you signed a D tackle, he's been doing a 3-4 defense his whole career, and you signed him knowing he's been a 3-4 tackle. All of a sudden, no, we run a 4-3 defense here. Wait a minute, coach. You knew what I did when I signed here. I don't like that.
Yeah, you gotta sign guys that fit your scheme, whether it be offensive, defensively.
That's good coaching.
That is great coaching.
Yeah.
I got another guy that is a former New England Patriot, and he signed with the Carolina Panthers a little bit longer than Tufi, 31 at defensive back. But just was the defensive player of the year, Stephon Gilmore.
Mm-hmm.
Where does he go?
He's with Carolina, right?
He's with Carolina right now. Yeah.
I resign him. Carolina needs corners. I wouldn't resign him.
They were resigning him in Carolina.
Yeah.
You know where I like him to go?
Where's that, bro?
The San Francisco 49ers.
You know what? I was thinking that, man. It was interesting you said that. I was thinking the 49ers.
The 49ers, once again, that's another team that have a very, very solid pass rush. And a lot of times you got a good pass rush. You got a good corner that can get you some interceptions. That changed complexions of a lot of games. I like Stephon Gilmore going to the 49ers. Now, the last cornerback I got on here is Carlton Davis, the cornerback. He's only 25 years old from Tampa Bay. Kind of struggled a little bit.
Yeah, he a little bit in this year. He got hurt actually beginning of the season, but he came back strong. But yeah, he's a good corner though. He's a really good corner.
He said that can't resign Gilmore too much money. That in Carolina, is that what you mean in Carolina, or you think that he should move on?
I would say Carolina myself.
I like the 49ers, man. I like the 49ers, man.
The 49ers going to be in that weird position this year because I think they're going to get rid of Jimmy G, and they're going to get some draft picks for him. Probably not a lot of high draft picks, maybe 3rd, 4th round pick. But
Carolina.
They got a quarterback on this rookie deal. So the 49ers going to be they got about 3 years. They can spend a lot of money on other positions to build around that quarterback and hopefully win the Super Bowl. Because if I was them, like the Giants are talking about getting rid of Saquon Barkley, I would go after him.
You know what's crazy? I don't think the 49ers need anything, honestly. I just think they need defensive backs. If you look at the 49ers squad overall, man, they got some studs on that team. And they are interception away from going to the Super Bowl and potentially beating the Cincinnati Bengals. But let's say now this is the most key position on the defense side of the ball right now, the hottest position, and that's edge rushers. So I got a couple guys. I want you to tell me where you think they're going to land, these edge rushers we got. And the one I got right now is I have Harold Landry, the 26-year-old edge rusher who had 11.5 sacks for Tennessee. Where do you see him going?
Well, Tennessee has a weakness at that position. So if I'm Tennessee, I'll do whatever I can to keep him.
And I'm agree with you. I think he stays home in Tennessee because I think, like I said, they got one of the better front sevens in the NFL. Yeah. If they get some secondary help, I think you sign. And he's 26. He's about to hit his prime. You know, edge rusher's prime is anywhere from 25 to 29. They're kind of like running backs. You know what hurt Tennessee in the playoffs is that when King Henry came back, that messed up their chemistry. I think that
because they were rolling, and then
I think it was Tannehill, but
and all of a sudden they feel in the ball. They really didn't have to do that.
Tannehill was just giving that ball away.
Yeah, that's true too.
It was candy. He thought it was Halloween. Here, you get an interception. He thought he was open. You get an interception. So
give them out right.
He would just pass it out like candy. Now my second guy is just Davion Clowney with the Cleveland Browns. He just had a 9-sack season. You know he's very good against the run. Where you see him going?
I don't like Clowney. I never thought Clowney was a good defensive end. Never. Since he came out of South Carolina, man, I've never been impressed with him. He got over just because of that one play he had in that bowl, in that Gator. I believe it was a Gator Bowl.
Against Michigan.
Yeah. Ever since then, I've never thought Clowney was that good, man. But I guess he does have some ability. So let me think who needs to. You might be looking at them Dallas Cowboys. Because I think they're gonna lose some guys. I think they're gonna end up cutting some of these players that do have, and Dallas gonna need some defensive ends, man.
I can agree because I think DeMarcus Lawrence is trying to restructure his deal, and if they don't, I can see him being a casualty, a free agent casualty, and I can also see them not re-signing Randy Gregory, who had a lot of he had a lot of that. He said, "Please don't talk about the Cowboys." Hey, I definitely agree. I don't like them either, and he's
Hey, I
right.
don't either. Whatever it is, I
Listen,
don't like him either.
hey, listen. Let's move on because I agree with that. But Davion Clowney's only 29. I can see Clowney staying with the Browns.
Yeah.
They really like him. He really likes the Browns, and I'm not being a homer.
You think he's good?
I think he's solid. I think he's solid. When you have a other edge rusher like a Myles Garrett on that side, he had 9 sacks, but he got his sacks in bunches. I want to see him like get sacks without Myles Garrett getting double. I want him to create some havoc himself.
Hey, off subject a little bit. You remember you saw Myles Garrett in the celebrity game, right?
Yeah, yeah.
How nervous were you every time you saw him go up and dunk the basketball? What are you doing,
Hey,
right?
listen, I was like one of them. Sometimes you need to sit down somewhere.
Yeah, what are you doing, man? You
You're
ain't got
you're the franchise right
yeah,
now. You're the best player on the Cleveland Brown roster, him or Nick Chubb. And
yeah.
I just don't like it. But I mean, he's a young guy, man. People want to be. But if he would have came down on an ankle or a knee, man, listen, man, that would have been the worst situation I ever seen in my life,
You
man.
remember that running back? Remember that running back from years ago when they used to have the Pro Bowl in Hawaii? They don't have it there anymore. And that running back from New England, they were playing some flag football game in the sand and came down and tore his ACL. Remember
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
He was
that was crazy. Hold on, we got a question. He said Baker Mayfield, isn't he the franchise? Hey, listen, absolutely not. He's absolutely not the franchise. I'm a Cleveland Brown fan. I think that he could be suitable. We'd already talked about this, but I think he could be suitable at the price that we're getting him for. He's only going to be making about $18 million, which is a deal. If he can come back and have a season, not like he had last year, but the year before last, then we'll talk extension for
Baker
Baker Mayfield.
needs to know that he's surrounded by weapons.
Yeah.
And if he just plays a point guard on that team, they can win a Super Bowl. They have a good defense. They have an outstanding running game. They got good weapons on the outside. Don't try to overdo it. You don't
But
have to be Tom Brady to win a Super Bowl.
that's the problem with Baker. Baker,
Yeah.
I think he felt like he had to carry it. And like I said, in his defense, he inherited a 1-31 team. So
Yeah, they were bad.
when he came in, he felt like he had to carry that load, and he
Yeah.
didn't understand that we were building a roster around him. And I
Mm-hmm.
think he should have understood that. But sometimes when you're trying to get that paper, he was trying to get his bag. So that's why he was playing injured because he wanted to get that back. He seen Josh Allen get his money. He seen Dak Prescott get his money. He seen Patrick Mahomes. People want their bread, man. Because
This a big year for Baker, man.
it'll be big. It's going to be big for the
Really
whole
big.
Cleveland organization. Or you can see a lot of time. You can see with the Cleveland Browns, you may see them cutting bait with a lot of people if this season is not successful. I'm talking about from
Well,
head coach to
it's
quarterback.
because Pittsburgh is going to be on the downslide this year. I think they're going to be rebuilding a little bit. If they don't get a quarterback, Pittsburgh's going to be rebuilding. So there's an opportunity for you guys to sneak in there and win that division. I don't really know about Baltimore yet.
Listen, Cleveland, I don't care who's playing quarter. I don't care if they go get, Tom Brady out of retirement to go to Pittsburgh. Cleveland has to find a way to win even when people are playing at a high level.
I agree.
And I'm going to leave it like that. I think Cleveland has no excuses, man. We can't be like, well, Josh Allen's in our conference and Lamar Jackson. I don't care. Because when you want to be the best, you got to beat the best.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
I'm going to leave that. And I'm a Browns fan, but I'm going to leave that.
I'm with you, man, 100%. I'm feel the same way, man. No excuses. We got you a roster. We spent money to get these guys in here, so it's time for you to do your job. We want to field and show what you can do. I agree with you.
I got a couple other edge rushers for you.
Who you got,
The next one up is Emmanuel Akbar from the Miami Dolphins. He's only 28 years old. He had a solid year. He had a solid 2 years with the Miami Dolphins. They're not going to sign him back.
You don't think so?
No. They got a lot of young talent down there, man. The Miami Dolphins have drafted well the past 2 seasons. If you go back and look, they done hit. Now I ain't saying they got superstar, but they got a lot of starters out of their draft. And that's why I'm really mad that they let Brian Flores go because he was solely responsible for a lot of those selections. But what do you think Akbar will fit in at?
Like another team that needs a defensive end. He plays a run well too, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He was a former Brown as well.
Maybe Miami resigns him.
I don't think they go. I don't think me personally. I mean, it's not out the question.
Maybe he stays in the state and goes to Jacksonville. That's another option.
Hey, I like that. I like that's a good one. I never thought about because Jacksonville got a couple dollars to spend.
They sure do.
They got a couple dollars to spend.
You got that cap money. You have to spend it on somebody. If you got that young quarterback on the rookie deal like we talked about earlier, you you got to spend your money somewhere, build around these quarterbacks to hopefully give you a chance to actually win something.
You know where I like him going?
Where's that, bro?
And the Philadelphia Eagles, man. The Philadelphia Eagles.
They need a pass rush.
They do because they lost Graham, and Graham is pretty much going to retire. I can see Graham not playing again. He had a very good, solid career for the Philadelphia Eagles, but they need a pass rush. They do got 3 first-round picks I think you want to go ahead and get you a proven veteran, and then you still draft somebody. One thing they did when they won the Super Bowl, they had a great pass rush and they had a great rotation.
Yeah.
So I can see them picking up I think they can get him on a real solid deal. You don't have to pay him a lot of money because he didn't put up that many sacks to pay him a lot of money. So you can bring him in on a mid deal, maybe a 9 or 10 kind of prove it deal, sign him a 1 or 2 year deal, and I think Philadelphia, that's where he'll land at.
Being a Washington fan, I don't want to hear that, but you're 100%. Right?
I feel you.
And I like to see these teams improve. I like every team to have a strong roster. That way, whoever wins the Super Bowl, they earned it.
They did.
That's how I like, man. I like every division to have at least 2 good teams. Mm-hmm. Right now, the NFC East don't have that. They have 1 good team. We need one of those other teams step up and challenge those Cowboys.
Yeah, and I think it could be Philadelphia.
That way, when that team comes out of that division, they've been battle tested.
I think the Eagles could be that team that can battle the 40. But they have to. And
what I like about the Eagles know who they are. They you know what? We're a running team, and we're gonna run the ball down your throat. We're gonna play a solid defense. At least they know who they are. Now, whether you agree with Jalen Hurts playing that type of game, or whatever, at least at this point right now, they know what their bread and butter is.
I think the Eagles can make a move if they believe in Jalen Hurts. And I believe you have to believe in the quarterbacks you have on your roster. And that's the problem I got with a lot of NFL teams. If they just put a couple pieces around Jalen Hurts, whether it be wide receiver, offensive line help, I think Jalen Hurts can be solid. Sometimes they said his stats can be deceiving because he got a lot of stats when they're down by a lot of points. But regardless of what it is, at least find out what you got in Jalen Hurts before you just dispose of him.
I like the Eagles' offensive line. I think their offensive line, their running game, I think it's all strong. I just think they just need to play a little. They need to throw the ball down the field a little bit more than what they're doing.
I like their offensive line, but I think the continuity of their offensive line, because they always got guys out the lineup, except for Kelsey. Kelsey seemed like the mainstay. But I think if you go get somebody, I think it's about time to part ways with Johnson on the right side. I think you need to bring somebody in to challenge him for that position because he's making a little bit of money over there. And I think that the Eagles want to get young. They got 3 draft picks. Let's see what they do. They got picks 15, 16, and 19.
Maybe that's a spot for Michael Gallup to go, the Eagles.
If he come back healthy, that's a good one. And then
middle of the season, maybe before that. Was it Thanksgiving?
I think it was before that, so I think he should be ready. I think he should be ready for training camp at the beginning. So
guys are coming off these ACLs a lot faster than what they used to in the past. So maybe I know receivers and receiving running backs a tough position to come back from injury because of all the cutting and slashing they do.
Right.
But hopefully he can come back healthy and help a team out. Any team but the Cowboys, right?
Right. I got 2 more pass rushers, and then I got a couple safeties, and then we can move on to the NBA. So right now we got Chandler Jones. He's 32, long in the tooth. Yeah. Productivity slipped after like week 5 or 6. It slipped.
Yeah, I heard about them not re-signing him. I heard that.
Yeah, he's not coming back to Arizona. And at 30, no. And at 32 years of age, he probably got 1 good year left. And where do you see Chandler Jones going at 32?
Veteran defensive lineman. He's going back to the Patriots.
Patriot?
Going back to the Patriots. That's where he started, right?
Yeah, he did, and I like that. I like that. Matter of fact, I'm going to agree with you on that one. I believe he go back there. We got that young quarterback. Bill Belichick is going to get it. Look what he did with Jamie Collins. He gets guys and bring them back to their system, and they work very well. Chandler Jones would be like a glass slipper. He'd slip right in there, and he'd be right back. But I don't see him playing more than 1 year, unless he just come and ball out. And if they what'd he say? He said he got 3 good years. Depending on if they use him as a pass rush specialist.
That's what he is.
If he can be a pass rush specialist, I can agree with the 3 years. But when you're a little bit older edge rusher, he said go to the 49ers.
Ooh, interesting. Doesn't make that D-line even stronger.
Because they got Nick Bosa on the other side. They put him in there. That could be a strong move.
Conference.
The last edge rusher that I have is Mr. Super Bowl himself, two of them, Super Bowl MVP with the Denver Broncos. His name is Von Miller. Von
Ooh,
Miller, Von Miller, 33 years old.
Von Miller ain't going nowhere, man. He's staying with them. He's staying in L.A., man. He already in L.A. You saw him at the Super Bowl, parade, man. He already all L.A. He ain't going nowhere, man. I know he a Texas boy. He likes L.A., man.
I like the LA stay. I like for him to stay home because they gave up too much to get him. They gave up a
Yeah.
third rounder, I believe, and a fourth rounder. That's a lot of equity to give up for a guy that you only basically rented for half a season. I think if he stays with the Rams and Aaron Donald come back and you still got Leonard Floyd, I think you can preserve him and use him as just a specialist and
And
don't
no,
let him play a lot of games.
and
You
the
go.
Rams don't have eating weaknesses. If they resign their key free agents, they're gonna be right back in the mix.
Oh, and then the NFC is a little bit softer than
Oh,
it was with Tom. With Tom Brady gone, I could see them running the table again. But with Von Miller, I could see you're gonna start seeing a lot of suspicious hamstring injuries just so he could be out 3 games, 4 games, and nobody question they gonna rev him up at the end of the season and he gonna be right back out there. They pretty
yeah, I could definitely see that. That wouldn't shock me at all. But yeah, I would see him going back to the Rams. I think that's a good spot for him.
okay. He said running back. So, but running backs. There's no. You know what? What if they made a deal? They you said they go all out. What about Saquon Barkley to the Rams?
You know what? I heard that today on sports radio, man. That wouldn't shock me.
They
Nothing shocks me with the Rams nowadays. The Rams don't care, man. Like we talked about, they give zero F's about everything.
if they go get Saquon Barkley and allow him to like split reps with Cam Akers and Sony Michelle, and
Ooh,
then I think let him get completely healthy. That hey, I like that. I like
that
that running
sounds
back. I
good.
like that.
That sounds good, bro. But they gotta fix that O line first. The O line didn't block very well last year for running, at least.
They need to find a replacement for for Andrew Whitworth because
Yeah,
he's done. They got to get a left tackle. They got to get a left tackle.
get that in the draft. They don't have to be. They don't have any first rounders, but they might have a few.
I don't even think they got a draft pick till like the last day. Like I don't think they got a pick until like the 4th round. So good luck trying
You
to
know,
find a left
hey,
tackle.
you know the rounds, bro. They'll make a trade and get them off his lineman. They don't care. They give up
Hey, but
they give it the 2035 draft pick to get off his lineman.
hey, good luck. Good luck if they could get a left tackle in the 4th. Not saying it's impossible, but I'm not gonna bet the house on getting me a left tackle in the
Nah, I
draft.
wouldn't.
Not that late.
Nah.
So my last position is in the secondary is safeties. Well, I
Ooh.
got one linebacker, one interior linebacker, middle linebacker, weak side linebacker. His name is Devonte Campbell. He's only 29 years old. I don't think the Green Bay Packers can re-sign him. He just came off an All-Pro season. Where can you see him going, real quick?
Uh, I think that man's gonna be a commander,
You don't say.
bro. That's the weakest spot. I want to sound like a homer. I don't want to sound like that's the weakest spot on our defense, man. We don't have any linebackers, man. And I would definitely see him being a Washington Commander. We need linebackers bad, man. That's the
Okay.
spot on that defense. So if they get a linebacker, that defense would be pretty much complete. Besides maybe a little bit better safety, but I would say I would go say Washington for him. What do you think?
I think he's going to end up in damn, I just lost my train of thought. He's going to end up in L.A. with the Chargers, not the Rams, with the
Oh, I thought
Chargers.
you would say Rams.
No, I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, he's going to end up with the L.A. Chargers because the
Yeah,
Chargers have a lot of money to spend.
yeah,
And
they do.
they got a lot of money to spend. And offensively, they're not hurting, but they're hurting really bad defensively.
And
This
they got that quarterback on their rookie deal like we talked about earlier.
exactly. And he's going to be looking for an extension after this year because he'd be going in year 3. He's going to look for his money. He's going to look for
You
an
got
extension.
to go balls to the wall this year
I,
before you got to pay that quarterback.
I think Campbell, being an All-Pro, he can come in because he's not going back to Green Bay. He's not because Green Bay has no freaking money. And if they're going to franchise Devontae Adams, there's no way they're going to bring Campbell back. Now, I got a few guys, and we're going to go to the NBA. These are some safeties. And the first one that come to mind is 25-year-old Jesse Bates for the
Where the base play again? The phone broke up. I'm sorry.
Jesse. I'm sorry, Jesse Bates. He only 25.
What do you think?
Bengals. If Bengals don't re-sign him, you got to be absolutely home with the Bengals.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, they need the Bengals. He was probably their best. secondary player. Not last year, but 2 years ago, he was probably their best secondary player. But he's very solid. I would definitely re-sign him from the
Yeah,
bank.
he definitely. I see him staying home.
Yeah,
Uh, the second one I got Tyron Matthews, the Honey Badger, 30
Wash-
years of age.
Washington.
You think Washington?
Yes, sir. We're gonna go after him if Kansas City don't re-sign him.
I can see that one him going back home and staying with Kansas City. I can't see him really moving on because you think about it, if he move on, this would be what his fourth team.
Yeah, and maybe if he stays, I shouldn't say New Orleans. He's from that area, but he said he doesn't like going home.
First of all, New Orleans can't sign nobody either. New Orleans ain't sign no free agents. They ain't got no money either.
You know what? I'm sorry, they in the same boat with them Cowgirls.
There's a lot of that's one of the teams that can't sign anybody else. And then, matter of fact, speaking of New Orleans, Marcus Williams, a 26-year-old safety, we know he's not going back to New Orleans. They can't franchise him. So what do you do with Marcus Williams?
There's another. You know what? The Cowboys can really use a good safety. I know people on here don't like listening to about the Cowboys, but they can.
Cowboys ain't really got no money either, though.
Yeah, but we don't know what they're gonna do in far as releasing and players here and there. It's a lot going to go on between now and free agency starts in a few weeks. So Dallas might release some guys, and they're gonna have to beef up that secondary, man. That's one of their weakness. One of their weaknesses.
That's another place I can see him landing in Tennessee.
Tennessee.
I can see him saying because Tennessee going.
Like Tennessee's roster, don't you?
I think Tennessee is built to make a run. You don't have the best record in the AFC and
Yeah.
not capitalize on that opportunity.
And
So
bro, and they earned that. They didn't because they had all those hurt players. Tennessee really earned that number one seed, man. They didn't just walk through their division, the conference, all that stuff. They earned that. It was just really disappointing for all those Titan fans for them to lose the first game in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure they were really disappointed for that.
yeah, so that's the free agent frenzy that we have going on.
Yeah.
It's about to go down in about 2 weeks, and you're gonna see it's going down. It's gonna be like that's the epitome of the off season. Is
Yeah.
we starting off right now with the combine. Then you have free agency period about to start, and then after that you got the NFL draft. So we're gonna keep y'all posted.
You like how they switched it from free agency first, then the draft, or you like it the other way around?
I like it here because then you get a free agent, then it's going to dictate what you're going to draft after you done fill some holes through free agency.
Like
Yeah, so
that.
I think it's better.
I like the way they switch it up too, man. I think it's better for the teams. That way they're not going into the draft, and then that and it get more. The players that get drafted, they don't really know where they're going now. So, man, I thought I was going to go to Cleveland, but they don't really need a running back anymore because they picked up this dude. I
Hmm.
like that.
Yeah, and I think it's better suited for them. I think it makes it more parity in the NFL because now
Yeah,
you know what you need. But hey, I was going to change gears the last about 10 minutes of the show, man. I want to talk a little NBA if we may.
let's do it, baby.
The NBA right now and the top story right now in these 3 games, James Harden has gone to the 76ers. They're 3-0. He's
But
putting up 27 points a game,
mm-hmm.
9 rebounds, and 12.7 assists in 3 games with the 76ers. It looked like he's having a great little start with Joel Embiid and Tobias Harris. They look like they got the best big three. And then Maxey has scored 20 points in every game he's been there. Tell me, what do you think the 76ers ceiling is right now?
We talked last time, and I picked the Sixers to go to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
But all these 3 games, they played the Knicks twice.
True. But they did beat the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah, the Timberwolves on the fringe of making the playoffs in the West. But I still like this combination with Embiid and Harden and Thibault and some of those Maxey, some of those guys. They have a good mix of players. They got 2 superstars with Harden and Embiid, and the other guys are role players. And I think it's a good mix. I really do like it.
You know what? I personally don't think that. I think they're going to make a run. But once again, we have seen James Harden excel in the honeymoon period.
Sure,
We have,
yeah.
we have seen when he's happy, he seemed to be, he said it feel like home. But we've seen this before. We've seen this story before. He's going to have to prove me wrong. And I hope he proves me wrong. I mean, honestly, I hope he proves me wrong. But I think right now you still got to go through the Bucks. It's going to be hard to beat the Bucks. And I think I don't even want to put Brooklyn up there. The reason why I don't want to put Brooklyn is because it's not because of the players. Because I think Ben Simmons is going to come back and be pretty solid for them. And KD come back this week.
You think so?
I think he's going to be better than what people think because he don't have the pressure. As long as Ben Simmons ain't got to score. As long as Ben Simmons doesn't have pressure to be the second option, he can be the fourth option. He's a fourth option behind the guys that they have. I think that'll fit because he's an elite defender and he's an
He,
elite ball
he
handler.
he is. My only problem with Brooklyn, bro, is just I don't think they're going to have time to this season, maybe next year, this season to build their chemistry because
Yeah,
they haven't played any games together.
I'm
That's
not.
the real issue.
I'm not counting Brooklyn. I don't think Brooklyn's going to do anything. Honestly, I think I
Yeah.
think the talent that they have will get them to the second round at least. But when they face up against the Chicago Bulls, they face up against the Milwaukee Bucks and Miami Heat, and maybe even Cleveland. Not to mention the 76ers. I think they just won't have enough. I think KD in and out of the lineup, Kyrie Irving in and out the lineup. You don't know what, and I think Ben Simmons need to get his legs up under him, and by the time he do, the season will be over. So,
But honest with you, I don't know. Right now, they are the 8 seed. Let's say they stay the 8 seed. Are they good enough to beat a 1 right now with the issues they're having with no chemistry and players like you said, KD in and out of the lineup? Are they good enough to beat a 1 seed right now?
if that one seed is the Miami Heat, yes, I
You think
believe.
so?
I think they can beat
Hey,
Miami.
Bob, we talked last week. I'm big on the Miami Heat, man. I like the way they're coached. I like the set of players they have. The Miami Heat ain't no pushover though, bro.
They not no pushover, but I think I told you when it comes playoffs, when you have a veteran team like Brooklyn, this is where Brooklyn will be able to excel because you don't play back-to-back nights. You play
Well,
one game, you off. So you can play a KD 38 minutes, 40 minutes. You can play Kyrie Irving. You could play Blake Griffin. You could play him 20, 23, 24 minutes. You could
Blake,
play – I'm telling you, Blake Griffin is resting.
Blake,
Like,
yeah, because
yeah,
he's not playing because he's not good anymore.
he's not – but he can give you – if he can give you 10 and 6, that's what he's there for. And you
Yeah,
got LaMarcus Aldridge. LaMarcus Aldridge can get you. Yeah, hey, my nephew Donald. Yeah, I think it's gonna be. That's what I picked. I picked the
Bucks.
Bucks and the Warriors. Yeah, I did pick that.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I think I picked Philly Warriors,
yeah, I
but
think you picked Philly
I
Warriors.
changed that before the next holiday, which is
But
Labor Day.
but you
But on
did say
Memorial Day,
but you did say that you got the Sixers winning and all.
I sure did.
But I do think that when it comes in the NBA, star power, you need star power in the NBA playoffs, and I think that's why I can see Brooklyn beating a Miami Heat team, just because KD is not losing in the first round. Now, him going to the second round, that may be in the question, but first round, I can't see him losing. I don't care if he's playing a number 1 seed.
I agree with you, man. If they're completely healthy, I just haven't seen this team completely healthy now. And so as of right now, uh, your boy can't even play in every stadium right now.
But that's about to change in about 2 weeks.
But I'm just saying, as of right now, he can't. Just like I was confused the other day, man. The Raptors finally lifted all their bans and all the fans to come back into the game, no mask, but Kyrie can't play.
That's weird. That's weird.
It's stupid.
But I think if you look across the nation, the COVID cases are dropping tremendously. Even though we got
They,
Devin Booker out on protocol right now,
yeah.
but I think that if you look around the league, especially in the sports world, you haven't seen a lot of guys going out with COVID. So that's a
No,
good sign.
it is a really good sign. And Lord knows, man, I hope here pretty soon we've lost enough people to this terrible virus. Hopefully you can get by this and we can move on and because I'm tired of wearing masks at work and at the store, and I don't know about where you're at, bro, but it's crazy.
Yeah, it's same here.
It's not as tough here in Texas because us Texans, we're pretty hard headed. We don't believe anything's real.
Well,
So
my kid down there, I know.
we're thinking, oh no, this ain't real. This is fake news. I don't think that, but a lot of people do. But hopefully we can get past this from everybody and we can move on and get back to normal life. I'm tired of this.
Yeah,
Man,
me too.
I know
My nephew Donald also said health is going to be a major concern for any team right now. Health. If you healthy, you got a good chance. And
yeah,
I can see a lot of teams getting healthy. Matter of fact, let's go to the Western Conference real quick and
do
listen.
it.
So what do you like now? The Western Conference, you got Paul, he's out.
Mm-hmm.
You look at Golden State, they're missing Draymond Green.
And no, missing Clay too.
Clay, and they missing Wiseman. All those guys are supposed to be back in the next week or two. Maybe Draymond might be a little bit deeper, but they'll be at full speed, full capacity with everybody probably in the next month. So I like Golden State, what they can do if they get healthy. I like Chris Paul coming back in the next 5 or 6 weeks maybe. But let's talk about some teams up under them. We already know what Phoenix and Golden State gonna bring.
Yeah, they're
But
top.
But let's talk about those Grizzlies real quick, man. Can we talk
Hey,
about those Grizzlies, man?
what do you think about Ja Morant, man? What do you think?
Listen, man, this guy is
Heard
this.
the other day, bro.
Yeah, I was, I'm a little sour taste in my mouth when he beat my Spurs. And he dropped 52 on them boys, man.
Bro,
He
not
dropped
only that,
52.
he put out a highlight film on y'all, man. Where
Oh,
he's
that dunk.
center and throwing up shots in the last second. This kid look unstoppable. He probably done that by that night. He was just
Yeah.
hot.
My thing with the Grizzlies, man, right now, I think they're getting healthy, but
Yeah,
the key component to them is Jackson Jr. He needs to remain healthy and continue to play the way he's playing on the defensive end.
I agree. He could be their number 2 easily. He's a really good player.
I like
Actually,
him.
his dad played for the Spurs
Oh yeah,
there when they won the championship back in the day. Yeah, he's a really good player. I like him.
I hope that he can stay and keep that energy defensively. And Bang, let's not sleep on Bang. And then you know what? Memphis should be getting Dylan Brooks back really, really, really soon.
They're scary, man.
That's going.
I believe if I look at my stats here, I think they're the 3 seed right now.
They 3 and they only 1 game back of Golden State.
Golden State blew a 21-point lead against my Mavericks just a few nights ago. You know why, bro? You know why they blew that lead? You probably didn't watch it. I watched every second of that game. Golden State won't stop shooting 3-pointers. I mean, they had a big old, and they're trying to embarrass teams. They keep throwing up threes while they're up 20-something instead of driving to the basket. Because the Mavericks don't have any shot blockers. If you drive to the basket, you can score all you want. But Steph Curry kept throwing up them threes, and Dallas came down and they were scoring. It don't take no time to cut down the lead in the NBA.
Hey, listen.
From 20 to 10 within a matter of seconds.
You got to think about it though, man. You can't stop being who you are. In Golden State, that's what they do.
I know.
They lost that game, but let's think about it. They're gonna win a lot more games than they lose in that situation. They're gonna win a lot more games than they lose.
Bro.
So, but
I mean, I'm ready for, like you said, I'm ready for the playoffs to get here, man. We got about 15, 20 more games, right?
Yeah.
And
about 20.
Like you said, but Memphis is scary good, man.
And
scary, bro. I don't know if they're gonna make it to the finals, but they're gonna be they ain't gonna be no easy out, bro.
The crazy thing is,
play against Memphis in the playoffs, you better win your home games. That's all I'm telling you, because you go down to that ground house. They still call it the ground house.
Yeah, it's the grind house.
Good luck. That's all I'm saying. You better take care of business at home. But you go on the road, it ain't gonna be. Ja Morant got them boys playing on another level right now.
And the grind house represents the personality of Memphis. That's the type of city that it is, and they support their Grizzlies, man. I got one other team that I kind of want to talk about, if I may. It's the Utah Jazz. Utah Jazz are starting to round in the form, man. Rudy Gobert is starting to settle in, and with Donovan Mitchell, who is one of the most underrated players in the NBA, man. And then Mike Conley Jr. is actually being healthy right now. What I like Utah. They're in the 4th spot right now, man. I think they can be dangerous, man.
So right now, if the playoffs started right now, they would play the Mavericks in the first round.
I hate to say it, they can beat them.
Matchup, bro.
I think they could beat them. I think because we seen Luka dominate a lot of time. We seen Luka dominate the Clippers and dominate, but he can't get out. He's had to be out the first round yet. He's yet to be out the first round.
But the Mavericks picked up Spencer Dinwiddie from the Wizards, and he's really been really, really good. He's been averaging 20 points a game since he's been there.
Oh, and I love Brunson. I love Brunson, man.
Brunson is a really great player, too. Hopefully they can re-sign him. The free agency coming up, hopefully they can re-sign him. But the Mavericks, I'm not saying that just because that's my team. The way they've been playing defense lately, they're going to be able to hang with some teams also. That's a whole scary team. And Memphis, some reason, can't beat the Mavericks. I don't know why, but they just can't beat them.
I don't know what it is, too. But I'm going to say one thing before we get to the point that we want to talk about that you sent me. Is the Clippers potentially could get Kawhi Leonard and Paul George back. How would that reshape the look in the Western Conference if those two guys come back?
What type of shape are they going to be in? That's the thing.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult, but Paul George ain't been out that long. Now, Kawhi Leonard, that's the one I would really look at his conditioning, but Paul George ain't been out that long, has he?
No, he hasn't. Paul George has been out maybe a month.
And look what Reggie Jackson is doing with that team. He done turned into that leader, man.
The Clippers going to be a problem.
If they get them back, man, I think. And another person is Jamal Murray. They say he should be coming back soon. So the Western Conference about to get scary.
So you're not completely sold on Phoenix and Golden State being the top
No,
in the West yet.
I'm actually sold on them. I think that those are two teams that you got to reckon with, man. Clippers get back healthy, don't count them out.
Well,
No,
that's
I
true.
understand. That's
Very
true.
true.
That's very true. But let's talk about what we want to talk about. Let's
What's
talk
that,
about this.
brother?
Let's talk about this elephant in the room. You ready for the elephant in the room?
I'm ready, man.
That elephant in the room is called the Los Angeles Lakers.
Oh, you mean the LA Fakers? You talking about the LA Fakers?
Listen, man, what is LA? Okay. It's sad that
Love
the
it.
Los Angeles Lakers,
No, it's not. I love it. Go ahead.
uh, the Los Angeles Lakers, man, they 6 games under 500. They getting beat by the Pelicans by almost 30 points.
Embarrassed in their own gym, bro.
In
Now,
in
hey,
the
what that name? It's not the Staples Center anymore. It's
It's
the
called the
oh.
crypto encrypt. You ain't got to log on. Come on back on. Come on
Hey, no,
back on.
don't get this, man.
No, come on, get this work. Come on back. Come on, get this work. Listen, man, LeBron James statistically is having one of his best seasons of his career.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not enough.
No, it's
It's
not,
it's,
bro.
it's not enough. It's not enough. When you got listen, they brought Carmelo in to be a 3-point specialist or a jump shot. How you gonna be a specialist and you can't even hit a shot? How
You
you
can't
got
hit bro.
you,
You can't build a roster around dudes that are 35 and older, man. They got too many old players on the NA team. That's the
so
problem.
so what do you think is the ceiling or the the ceiling for the Los Angeles Lakers? Like what
The
do they do?
bro. If I'm the Lakers, I wouldn't even make the playoffs because the Lakers would be lucky to make the play-in. Which, if they wasn't for this new rule that LeBron complained about. Now, I like
Right.
LeBron. Don't get me wrong; he's a great player. LeBron didn't even want this play-in scenario, but if it wasn't for that, Lakers probably wouldn't even be in the playoffs.
Listen,
Uh,
I'm gonna go ahead and say this, man, and this may
Go
not
ahead.
be but this is gonna be a hot take, and I want to make sure we got a receipt on this. If the Lakers get in, I don't see nobody wanting to play them.
I'm
That's
not.
because listen to what I'm saying. The Lakers they built for the playoffs because if Anthony Davis don't have to play game in and game out, and he come back healthy,
He's always hurt.
that's what I'm
He's
saying. So I'm not big on the Lakers. I'm not big on them, but if I'm a franchise, I'm hoping that the Lakers don't make the playoffs at all. Because if the Lakers can get in there, we still got to understand King James is King James. Westbrook, I don't know, but then Anthony Davis come back. You still got two of the top 10 players in the NBA with Westbrook. I mean, not Westbrook.
there's too many ifs, bro.
It is, but
That's what I'm saying. Russell Westbrook can't shoot,
right.
bro. He's even missing layups the other night. He's done. I don't know why Lakers kept him because they couldn't trade him. They were actually trading this man for John Wall. You remember John Wall?
Didn't they just trade for John?
The Lakers are done. The Lakers and LeBron James, bless his heart, man. He's a great player. He's played a lot of great years in this league. He just can't do. He can't carry a team no more, man.
Listen
By
to
the
what I'm
time
saying.
like he does everybody else, he can't do it no more. And he
Listen to what I'm
got no
saying.
role players. His role players suck.
They do,
Lakers
and
just not a team.
I'm gonna tell you like this, man, and I get it, but I guarantee guys that play for Phoenix and those guys at the top,
They not
they
scared of
still
Lakers, bro.
they still don't want to see the. I mean, I would rather the Lakers, be out. You see what LeBron said? LeBron said, "Until you cut my head off, till you bury me 12 foot under, you still got a chance."
I agree with you 100% on that. But LeBron can only score 30 points. They can't beat no good teams with him scoring 30. He got no help. I agree with you. LeBron gonna bring his game every night, but he got to have help, bro. And right now, he don't have that.
Hey, have you ever watched the bench and Frank Vola? What's the name? He looked lost.
Vogel. Yeah, he
Vogel.
look.
He be looking like, man, what is going on? He don't even look like the head coach, man. He be looking completely lost, man.
What's going on?
Listen, I watched him play the Pelicans, and he looked like, what the hell did I get myself into?
He probably thinking, man, I should. He probably think I should stay in Indiana, man. I'd have been safe.
At least he did get a championship, though. I mean,
yeah, he got one. They can't take that away. He got his bubble championship.
Hey, listen, a championship is a champion. Championship
I
is
know,
a championship,
bro. I'm just saying. Hey, it makes a big difference, man, when you don't have to go on the road and face that team in their. You can say what you want to say. Everyone went to the same thing, but if Lakers actually had to go on the road during a big playoff game and play in Miami or one of these other teams they played in the playoffs, they probably lost some of those games. So it won't guarantee them a chance. I think that makes a difference. I don't say everyone went the same thing, but bro, they in one gym. You got people on video watching it. Same, you know what I mean? There's
and I think a lot of those players
on the bench, all that stuff, all that's a factor.
Yeah, it definitely is, man. But like I said, that's all I got today, man.
Me too.
We had a great one today, man.
Bro, this has been a great show, man. Hey, bro, we need to keep this going.
Hey,
maybe once a week ain't enough. Maybe we need to give them more once a week.
Hey, listen, let's do 2 to 3 times, man. And I got one thing before we go. The NBA about to be covered by something called March Madness. So you won't even really be hearing about the NBA for about 3 weeks. So March Madness about to jump off, man. So we definitely gonna go.
Before they start the tournament, which is pretty soon, they got the conference tournaments coming up here, I believe next week. We got to get into that, man, because I got some ideas for who I think gonna win that championship.
Oh, absolutely.
We're gonna let them leave them hanging for the next show.
Hey, no doubt. You could definitely come on, man. Hit me up. Inbox me your information. Your information.
Let's go.
We'll bring you in there.
Yeah,
that's good people right there. So, hey, dig this, man. Let's do it 2 to 3 times a week. Hey, let's get the audience up, man. Let's get people responding, getting in here. Hey, if y'all want to be a part of the show, man, please just hit us up. Just inbox us, man, and let us know. And we definitely get you a part of this, man. We want to hear everybody's opinion.
Everybody's opinion, man, because everyone's from different areas. Everyone got their teams they want to root for, and opinions. The more the opinions, the better.
No doubt. So, hey, we're gonna give it to them again in about 2 or 3 days, man.
I'm ready.
Let's go. Hey, good show. See y'all later, man.